Chuck Love here, 1200 Films Podcast, all horror, all the time. Yes, another episode. I'm popping them out faster than Jacob Goodnight pops out eyeballs in the film See No Evil. So let's get going. Of course, the rating scale on the bottom. We got 5 levels. Dumpster, fire, garbage. Can't quite recommend. Okay, if desperate, put it on your watch list and then put it on top of your watch list. Let's go. All but one film in this list is from 2020. So a lot of new stuff. I'm trying to watch as many 2020 films as possible by the end of the year to give you enough complete list of the best and worst of. So we got 2020 Bad Hair. Critic rating, according to Rotten Tomatoes, of 64%. Audience score of 41. Rotten Tomatoes has this listed as the 42nd best film of 2020. Horror film of 2020. You can find this on Hulu, but I don't care where you can find this. This is not required viewing. How do I describe this one? This woman needs new hair to get a job. So she forces her way into a salon, and this woman gives her a weave. And the weave is evil. If that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead and watch this. If you're a normal human being, go ahead and skip it. I would say definitely, I can't quite recommend this one. Plus, there's long stretches of nothing. Next one, 2020 Llorna. Critic rating 97%, audience score is 64. There's been a lot of versions of this film, and this one's probably the best one. Rotten Tomatoes has it as the 5th ranked horror film of 2020. Although there was one critic review I noticed that kind of stuck out as, yeah, that's kind of accurate. Quote, "You might think Llorna is building to something, except it doesn't. It builds and builds, but the payoff feels underwhelming." That was from Anthony Gargabooga from CPR. Yes, this movie is very good, and you're watching it. It was very interesting. It kept me going, and then I was like, okay, it's about to get good. It's picking up here, and it's over. Where's the rest of my film? So that's really the only problem I can say with Llorna. It is a foreign film, but it was fine. It just ended too soon. What can you do? I would say okay if desperate, because of that. Next one, 2020, The Rental. Critic rating 76, audience score of 46. This is number 32 on Rotten Tomatoes list. Directed by little Dave Franco. James Franco's little tiny brother is now directing movies, and this is his first one, The Rental. This movie reminded me a lot of the Aaron Paul movie that came out last year called Welcome Home. It has to do with someone going into a new area, a rental, so to speak, and being videotaped doing anything and everything, because there's hidden cameras everywhere, and someone's watching, and they're up to no good. And that's what this film is. It's nothing new or original, but I thought it was okay. It wasn't horrible. It didn't really go in the direction I thought it would. So for that, okay if desperate. Next one, 2020 Blood Vessel. Critic rating 69%, audience score of 23. I thought this was a lot better than a 23. This group of people are stranded out in the ocean, just floating around in a raft. And they just happened to stumble upon an apparent abandoned Nazi warship. So they said, hey, we're better off on the ship than this little raft. So they get on there and they find out the crew's disappeared or is dead. Because apparently there is a demon, well, I guess two demons, that are being harbored in this vessel, the blood vessel. And the demon was safely chained up in a coffin and locked up securely, and eventually it gets released, of course. But I don't understand how the whole crew died. Originally when they found the Nazi ship, everyone was dead or gone. The demons were still locked up. They weren't freed. I don't know. That part didn't make sense to me. But beyond that, if you don't think about that part, fun little film. Check it out. Okay, if desperate. Almost made the watch list. It still might make my honorary mentions for the end of the year, but it was fine. 2020. The Dark and the Wicked. Critic rating 90%. Audience score of 67. For some reason, I couldn't wait to watch this one. I had to get this one immediately. People are slamming it, and you know what? It's not that bad. There's holes. Not holes, but there's areas where they could have improved. This family is on this farm, and the kids are coming home, the adult children, because the father is deathly ill, so they're paying their last respects, yada yada. And suddenly, this farmland is incredibly, insanely haunted, with this evil entity running around with the goats and stuff, and no explanation why. Could have taken a 2-minute backstory to figure that out, but no, nothing. We just got to see the family unravel. The second half is much better than the first half, but you just got to hang in there. Xander Berkeley, great character actor. If you Google him, you'd probably recognize him. He's been in The Walking Dead. He's been on 24. He's looking so old. Jesus. 24 was not that long ago. He looked like he was 40 years old, and now he looks like he's 70. It's only been 15 years. I guess not everyone can be Steve Martin. Anyway, so Dark and the Wicked, I would say put it on the watch list. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Next one, 2020 Feedback. Critic rating 65%. Audience score of 60. Ranked 39th on Rotten Tomatoes lists. This is a not little bad one-timer. This guy in this radio station, he's going to reveal something on his little show that he probably shouldn't. And then, so some people, some naughty people, are going to come in there and stop him. Stop him cold. So it kind of becomes into an aggressive hostage situation type thing. Good one-timer. Okay, if desperate. 2016 Cherry Tree. Critic rating 8%. Audience score of 21. Was not that bad. Shudder just randomly added this on their list of new films for the week. So that's Shudder usually adds good stuff. And I thought this was fine. It has to do with this satanic group who gather underneath a cherry tree that was apparently grown over a witch's grave. Apparently in the old days they would bury the witch and then plant a tree over them so they couldn't get out, because the tree, the roots and stuff are going to go through them and hold them down. So a popular cult gathering place is underneath these cherry trees. So, and somehow this girl gets involved with that. Not willingly, but yeah, she has to fight them, and then they steal her baby. So, okay, if desperate, I thought it was fine. I got through it, no problem. It's 21%, Jesus. All right, and now time for the finale, our feature review, Sputnik. Yeah, there's not really much of the trailer I can really play for you. This is a foreign film, so it's, yeah. It is from Russia. 2020 Sputnik, critic rating 89%. There is no audience score yet. Rotten Tomatoes has this as the 15th ranked best horror film of 2020. And the second consecutive foreign film to top the show in a row. I would have never guessed. But this is, like I said, it's from Russia with love. If Russia can make movies like this, I will watch more movies from Russia. So this astronaut is out in space and comes home, and he has brought something home. That is nothing original, but the thing lives inside him, and it only comes out at a certain time at night, and it's completely unknown to the astronaut. He goes in like a little coma state when the creature comes out of his mouth and wanders around and does whatever, and then it goes back in. And this guy is completely clueless that this large thing is living inside of him and coming and going. It's like a bad teenage daughter. Just leaves in the middle of the night, goes wherever, then comes home. But it was fascinating. Yeah, I was completely captivated. So put it on top of your watch list. Sputnik will definitely be in my top 10 of the year. Check it out. Next week's show probably will be within a week. We'll have Saturday the 14th, really cheesy 80s film. Then more films from Rotten Tomatoes top list. The 28th best film, VFW. The 24th best film, Scare Me. The 3rd best film, Uncle Peckerhead. Uncle Peckerhead. And then we got some just random ones. Mom, MOM, Mothers of Monsters. I know. I'm probably the 12th person to watch this film ever. Then one called Reap Town. Then another one I've finally watched after years of looking at it, Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. It is a mockumentary horror comedy film about a film crew that follows around a slasher, a killer, like a Jason Voorhees type. That's what this guy is. And then one called Awoken. It has to do with people that can't sleep. So yeah, that should be fun as we're gearing up toward the big year in review finale. So until next time, au revoir.